A 12% gain for a company as large as Netflix is nothing to shake a stick at. Is the move worth it? I mean, we know that Netflix has been a big, at least underperformer since its record highs. Is this a good reason to get back into the stock, the numbers that we just saw yesterday?
So Netflix as a business is entirely predicated on growth, that although nominally it looks pretty profitable with a 12% margin, actually when you dig into the cash flow, it's spending huge sums upfront on largely content production. So it needs to keep growing to justify its existence at the moment. And I think the markets are very much reacting to that.
So international subscriber growth accounted for the vast majority of what happened with Netflix. They are also focusing a lot more on international or global original content versus just in the US. How big is that original content push going to pay off for them down the line?
So yes, I mean, and that's where a lot of that cash is going right now. So originals give them two elements to the business. One is security from competition. We've seen increasing moves from the big studios to drive their own direct-to-consumer plans, so Disney, Fox and Warner, just to name two. And while individually they won't make much of a difference to content supply to Netflix, in aggregate, if we see a whole range of content distributors following suit, Netflix needs to have that stable of originals so it can secure the future of its streaming business. So from a security standpoint, very important. Also from an international localization standpoint, very important. They don't have to rely on international content producers to fuel the content boom in many of their new high-growth markets.
Richard, at one point over the course of the last few months, Netflix had lost around a quarter of its market value, and there's got to be a reason why. There was concern about growth, and while we know today's story is very bullish, are there any concerns that you have about Netflix's stock, even though we're seeing a 12% gain pre-market?
So the one concern I think I'd raise for Netflix is that much of that growth is now driven by increased marketing costs. So if you look at their marketing expenditure, while it hasn't quite doubled year on year, it has increased quite substantially. So they're paying well over $100 per net new paying subscriber in the US. And while it's a lot less internationally, it's still increasing. So that marketing budget is having to work harder and harder. And that suggests there's decline on the horizon, at least in terms of the net additions. If not over the next couple of quarters, then towards the end of next year.